In today's video, we're gonna go over some creepy TikTok conspiracies. Let's get into it.
I'm sorry, they just found what in Antarctica? Nah. Now, I'm sure you're all very aware of Antarctica and what it is. Well, no one is really, are they? I think we can all agree it's a bit sus. Isn't it weird that every country on Earth owns a certain part of this country? And high-ranking people just go here, but there's nothing here. People like the Rothschilds, they have their own secret island, and I'm not joking. What's that for then, mate? Flipping Island Part 2. But anyway, it's crazy that you can't just go to this place. It's very, very secretive. You can't just say, actually, I'm just gonna go to Antarctica. I mean, there's nothing there, but, well, maybe there is. There's a lot going on there, weirdly enough, that you don't know about. Let me take you back quickly. So one of the earliest stories which happened back in the 1900s is absolutely insane. When a research team literally went to Antarctica to just investigate it and find out, a little bit more about what was going on there, they all vanished. Every single one of them vanished. None of them came back. The military went in to go and search for them and obviously didn't find them anywhere, but they found their equipment, they found their tents and areas they were just completely ravished, and some of their film equipment and cameras were there. But what happened with this footage? Well, a few whistleblowers came out who apparently worked in the military back then and released photos, and these photos literally showed buildings, old rubble and buildings in Antarctica which this team had obviously captured. Now yeah, this could just be fake, but there's still a possibility it's real considering they did vanish. What makes this even crazier again is that we do know that thousands of years ago Antarctica did actually used to be green and was described as a paradise, believe it or not. Now there was loads of other stuff that came out about this research team and whistleblowers claiming what else was on that camera, but it was all censored. They took it down and all the tapes were just completely erased by the military. This is proven, who said, yeah, we don't need it, there was nothing on there. They even wanted to take this to the TV channels and broadcast some of the stuff. It was that crazy, but they said, nah, we don't need to. There's nothing that wrong with it. Now, back to the news. And now there's something found on the ice. So Google Earth users were shocked when they found this in Antarctica, which looks like a boat, right? Google Earth users are describing it as a 400-foot ice ship under the ice, saying that it could be Noah's Ark. But yeah, it could just be some guy who went in his yacht there and went, oh, it's a little bit colder than I thought it was going to be. Goodbye, froze over and RIP boat. Or is it something more? But there's also been a lot of military action in Antarctica since World War II, which is proven. So yeah, what is this thing? Could it just be a block of ice in the shape of a ship? Yeah, it could. That'd be funny. Or could it be a ship? Do I really care? No, but maybe you do. But the thing that makes it crazier is obviously the theories and everything about Antarctica and what we do know is going on there. So combining these two things just feels a bit sus. But yeah, make sure you hit that follow button and I will keep you updated.
I mean, it kind of looked like a boat, but not really. But I wouldn't knock that there is old structures and everything in Antarctica, especially if scientists are saying that it was a paradise type of land. There had to have been people that lived there that left those old structures behind. It's probably just under the ice. I can't wait for the day where we actually get to explore Antarctica to its fullest and unlock all of its secrets, because I know there's got to be some in there.
Little secret insight that maybe nobody will share with you. I'll go ahead and share it with you today. If you don't want to know, just go ahead and scroll. Doesn't matter. But if you do want to know, hang on. The only way out is through. You can't go around it. You can't turn around and go backwards. The only way out is through. Doesn't matter if you're in a bad relationship, a bad job, a good job, it doesn't matter. If you avoid it, you turn around and you walk backwards, you're still eventually going to have to go through it. So the avoiding of it doesn't actually change what I'm telling you. The only way out is through. So bad relationship, bad job, that experience that you have to go through those things. Your experience on this earth requires that you go through those things, and the things that you learn from that are going to benefit you. I'm not saying that means the relationship or the job works out. I'm saying that you have to go through it. And the lessons that you learn there, you have to go through them. You can't avoid it. You can't run from it. You can give the impression that you are, but you're still going to have to go through it. The sooner you accept that, the easier life becomes. I love you guys. Y'all have an awesome day.
This individual is completely 100% right. There's no way to avoid the inevitable. I agree with this, and I know the logic is kind of weird, but it makes sense. I'm a huge believer in this. Let me know what you guys think. Are you a extremely positive mindset person, or do you let things weigh you down and it makes it difficult to go through things? And trust me, I've been there. Hey, if you haven't done so already, go ahead and like the video and subscribe to the channel. I only ask once per video, and I make a video like this almost every day. And for the people that are subscribed, thank you so much for being a part of the channel. And for the people that are not subscribed, I still appreciate you nonetheless. Thank you for watching. And don't forget, if you want to be a part of Questions for DK, where I answer personal questions, questions about conspiracy theories, or theories in general, leave a comment starting with Question for DK so that I can find it in the YouTube search results and answer those questions in a future video.
So I just had to call 911. I'm okay, I'm safe, but this is a reminder to always check your surroundings, because you hear these stories and you think that will never happen to me. I'm literally shaking right now. It happened to me today, and let me just tell you what happened so you know what to look out for. I was driving and I was running errands and I stopped at a stoplight, and there is a black Porsche behind me, but to the right, so it's not in the same lane as me. There's a van behind me directly, and I see this Porsche start pointing at my car that I'm driving and honking, but he's not looking directly at me, he's looking at the person in the van behind me, and the only reason why I'm paying attention is because he was honking. So I continue driving. The Porsche disappears, so I don't think anything of it. It's like the Porsche SUV. I make a few turns, I notice the van is still behind me, and to myself, like, I just have a weird freaking gut feeling that, this is weird, after they were pointing and, like, I saw the communication happening. So I make a few more turns just to see if they're actually following me. They were. So then I'm looking up while I'm driving, not the safest thing to do, police stations. They were pretty far. So instead of going to the police station, I go to the most public place, most busy place I can think of, which was really close to me. It was a Costco. So then I pull into the Costco. The van's still following me. And so I literally whip around the parking lot and I pull into a spot and I sprint inside a Costco, thinking they won't be waiting for me. I was wrong. They waited. And I was wasting time in Costco too. Like, I was inside for at least 35 minutes. And then I walk out and I see this and I immediately take a video. The van is right there. Look at him. It was looking for the car I was driving. And I had already memorized, like, everything about the car. It was a U-Haul. There was no front license plate, but there's, like, numbers on the front. Like, I think, like, the rental numbers. So I'm guessing it traced the car. So, like, I don't know. I told the dispatcher about it. It was BE3204S. So then I just immediately get into the car. I dial 911, and they said that they could get cops to me. But at that point, like, I was driving around the parking lot making sure that I didn't see the van again. And so by the time I didn't see the van, I left. And I was still on the phone with the dispatchers. And maybe that was not the smartest thing to do. Maybe I should have gone back inside and called the cops. But I was scared of them, like, trying to come up to me while I was walking back inside, or me staying in the car. And I'm good. I filed the report. I talked to the dispatch. Police might be coming here later. And I took videos of the car and everything, so just be safe.
I'm glad this person's okay, because it's definitely very scary out there, and I'm glad that she contacted the law, even though it would have probably been a better idea to do so while she was driving and letting them know that she was going to pull up into the Costco and not just wait 30 minutes or so in the Costco, because that van driver could have done a lot of different things to her vehicle in that time frame. They could have put a GPS tracking location device on it. They could have tampered with the brakes, or all kinds of stuff could have happened. But hopefully everything is all good. Hopefully this individual is safe. And this is definitely a good message to broadcast out into the world, so people are a little bit more aware of their surroundings, because there could be people that are getting followed to their homes and they're none the wiser because they're not paying attention to who's behind them or who's in front of them and how the world is interacting around them. So just try to be careful out there and keep an eye out.
These people live underwater. Yep, I'm not joking. This is insane. This is the Monken people, often referred to as the sea nomads. Now, these guys live off the west coast of Thailand and in small tribes. The way that they live will absolutely flipping blow your mind, and just wait until you can see what they can do. So they live in small tribes in these sort of places, which are like floating islands in the sea. Like, what? Now, these tribes never ever go to actual land. They are always on the sea. God knows how they built these places, but it's insane. And 90% of the people in these tribes have never even stepped foot on land ever in their entire life. They even speak their own language. They have everything that works just for them, nothing associated with the outside world at all. Apparently, they add to their homes when shipwood and driftwood comes from the sea, and they just take it and start adding additions, like making extensions, trying to get planning permission, all of that. So they will literally just wait for a piece of driftwood to come, and they just go, sick, now we build. Like, it's actually nuts. But this is where it gets interesting. So you're probably wondering, well, they've got to eat. How do they get food? Well, they dive to get fish, but they don't have diving equipment. They don't have goggles. They don't have snorkels or anything, right? And they literally go down and hunt fish with sticks that they make, if not with their bare hands. But how can they see under there? Their eyes have adapted, meaning that they can see clearly under the water now. Nah. Like, I'm not talking when you open your eyes underwater and it's all blurry and stuff, because you wouldn't be able to catch a flipping fish, right? No, it would be literally crystal clear, like if we were wearing a mask or goggles. Now, how is this possible? Well, for decades, their ancestors have been doing this, and over time, evolution, and they have just adapted to this, and that is how their eyes function now. But yeah, nuts, but make sure you hit that follow button, and I will see you in the next one.
That's pretty fascinating, and I'm extremely curious. I know you said that they build upon their homes and their huts with driftwood and everything, but their homes are actually on stilts in the water. That means that they had to have gone down there, they built the stilts, they stabilized their homes and everything to be on water, and I think that's pretty fascinating. They are surviving. It's pretty impressive what we're capable of doing when we only have limited resources at our disposal. I find this kind of stuff extremely fascinating, and it does go to show what you are capable of as a person or a community if you all work together in a tight knit. Pretty cool.
Where are you going?
Trying to turn around.
Why are you turning around? What are you doing?
I can't turn around.
Why are you trying to turn around?
I can't.
Harper, you're scaring me. What are you doing?
I need to turn around.
For what?
I don't know.
What are you doing? Lay down. You were sleeping.
But I can't.
Why?
I can't.
You can't what? What are you doing? Why were you trying to turn around? What is going on?
Dang, she must have been like sleepwalking or something, because that was pretty awkward. And the other kid that was laying in bed just had no problem sleeping. That one was just sprawled all over the place. Do any of you have any good sleepwalking stories, or do you know anybody that is a sleepwalker and they've done some really crazy things? Let me know in the comments if you have.
You guys are absolutely not going to believe this. Over the last couple days, I've been coming across these glares from the sun, right? It's like in a honeycomb shape size. No way is this real. This is a sun simulator by Boeing that was talked about in 2020. Do you guys see this shape of it? It's literally the exact same shape as what people are seeing from the sun glare. Y'all ain't gonna believe it. The debunked video in 2020 talking about Boeing sun simulator is that exact shape. I am telling you people, over the last couple of days, it's a whole world of crazy. Hey, let's throw in the Schumann resonance. Have you guys been following and watching that? Yeah, so if you've been dealing with a lot of headaches, it's like, what's today? Today is the 14th. So if you have been dealing with a lot of headaches around the 13th, this is all from the 13th. So it's crazy enough that all of a sudden people are now recording a honeycomb glare from the sun. 2020 had a video talking about the Boeing sun simulator, which is in the exact same shape. And now we're going through a whole hell of a lot of crazy. Okay.
Honestly, I've not heard about the Boeing Sun Simulator. That's a new one to me, and that's kind of interesting. And I've been doing my best to avoid eclipse videos because there's so many of them, especially these ones where people are taking a photo of the sun and they're seeing the honeycomb shapes. But to me, seeing so many of them, I can even go out and do it to the sun or any bright light for that matter. If you were to take a light bulb, not an LED one, but a standard light bulb, and you were to do everything that they're doing with the sun exposure on the light bulb, you're still going to see those those honeycomb shapes. It's the sensor in your camera. Now the Schumann resonance, that is a pretty interesting one, because within that time frame I was definitely sick, not feeling good, and I had a headache. And I think a lot of people did. Now, it could be due to the pollen, it could be due to the weather change, the temperature is increasing, it's starting to get warm out, and that could have the effect on people getting sick, but that is a pretty interesting one.
How would you explain this? There's something suspicious with this footage. So you think the moon is a solid object, right? A rock. Here we've got a problem now. If put this moon away, what's going to happen here with the light? The light here of the sun. You can see the light of the sun, although the moon should be a solid object, right? So how would you explain this, right? You can see here where I put this marker and when I put this figure away, take a look what's going to happen now. Here, you see the light of the sun, but the moon is in front of the sun. So this light should not be visible if the moon is a solid object, right? Moon comes in, but you can see the whole light of the sun. The whole light of the sun. So this black object here.
I've seen a couple of these videos, and I have another one a little further down in this list of videos where it shows the eclipse happening on the sun. Very good point. You would think that being that the moon was eclipsing the sun, you would see a part of the moon that's eclipsing the sun that's not on the sun. There should be a whole moon there, but why is there only what's on the sun? To me, looking at some of the videos, it looks like the sun is actually rotating. It's showing the dark side. It doesn't look like something going over it. It literally looks like the sun is turning and it's giving the illusion that it's being eclipsed, but in reality, the sun is rotating and behind the sun is a black hole. That's what it looks like to me when you see the whole eclipse happen in this format. I really don't have a theory behind it. I really don't know how to even explain what happened because I'm not a scientist. I did not see the eclipse personally with my own eyes. I'm only able to see it from the recordings of other people. But nonetheless, really interesting and kind of questionable, but I'm sure there's some kind of scientific way to explain this phenomenon. Let me know what you guys think about this because it's pretty crazy.
I think if something happens, and the world falls apart, I think only the monsters live. Only the monsters. Only this most psycho of psychos. Only the most evil dog people, because they're probably cannibalizing. At a certain point in time, I bet people are cannibalizing. At a certain point of starvation, a certain point, if there's like a nuclear winter, if like when those things impact and the fucking sky is covered with volcanic dust for 2 years or nothing.
You ain't had no guns and nothing.
Bro, I guarantee people start eating people. I guarantee we are each ancestors of people who ate people.
If I think so, I would buy that.
Dude, the Comanche did it. Well, the Comanche didn't do it as much as some of the other Indians did it. But they would eat each other. They would eat their enemies. They would kill their enemy and eat his heart. They would do wild shit right here, the Nez Perce. Yeah, they would catch people and cook them and eat them in front of their friends. Oh.
In the meantime, do we start taking out as, doing as much as we can? Like, how do you, I could see.
You think about what the Native Americans went through in this country. That's what I'm saying. Their plight was even more dire because we removed their food.
I think if the world ever ended as far as an apocalypse happened, maybe due to an asteroid or whatever, a fallout, then yes, I do think monsters will definitely take over the world. It'll start with the rich because they have extra helping hands. They have all the tech that they could possibly use in the moment. But when their stuff gets depleted and dried up and nobody really cares about them because money isn't important, worse people are going to come out on top. The people that are not afraid to just straight up murder you without batting an eye. Like, those are the type of people that are really going to dominate this planet when the apocalypse happens. It's something that I often think about, you know, how aggressive is the world going to be when the apocalypse happens, and how am I personally going to be able to defend myself and family during this event, because I'm not the weakest of individuals, but I'm definitely not the most aggressive either. And there's way more aggressive people out there that I'm sure would have no problem taking me out for everything that I have when the time comes. So it's definitely something to be prepared for, and like, get yourself ready. Even if it never happens, it's never a bad thing to be ready for this kind of situation, because I don't want to be cannibal food.
I am a high masking autistic person, and this means that on the outside, I'm also seemingly high functioning. Autism is mostly an invisible disability, and this is why I wish there was more focus on the internal experience of autism. On the outside, I may just seem like a quiet, sometimes socially awkward person, but on the inside, it's a much more rich and oftentimes more challenging experience than what people perceive from the outside. And this isn't anyone's fault. There just aren't many people who understand my internal experience or the internal experience of those who are on the autism spectrum. Most people don't understand the anxiety that comes along with my autism. Most people don't understand that when I say I'm overstimulated, it's not in a silly, goofy way. It's usually to the point that it's painful. People don't understand how hard it is to have such a rigid brain and a rigid thinking style that when there's something that disrupts my routine, it causes me so much distress to the point that I sometimes will shut down or have an autistic meltdown. People don't understand that I'm not trying to be rude in conversations. I'm not trying to seem better than you. I just don't know how to respond to you. Communication through these videos is a lot easier because there isn't necessarily a dialogue, and I can just speak however I want. I can take as many pauses as I want, but normal conversations are so hard. My brain is like completely blank. It's just so unnatural for me. What people don't see is the internal battle that I have with shame. Because of the way our world is structured, I feel shameful about myself more often than not. I feel shameful that I can't perform to the expectations that the world has for me. People don't understand that when I go out and socialize, I need at least a day of rest afterwards, if not more. And these are just a few of the aspects of my internal autistic experience that I feel are greatly misunderstood. Because again, on the outside, if someone sees me, they'll probably just judge me as someone who's quiet, someone who might be socially awkward, but they don't see all these internal battles that I face every single day. And because I do tend to mask my autism pretty well, this also can lead to me feeling completely burnt out. It takes so much energy to not be able to be yourself in the world.
A little bit of autism awareness. I like these types of videos to understand how people operate, because I myself, I'm pretty certain that I have a level of autism as well. I'm very routinial. I have set ways that I like things done. And like this individual said, if they don't go how I have things laid out, it really puts me in a state of distress. Like I get stressed out over the silliest little things that are not important to the majority of people. But to me, if it breaks up my consistency, or if it puts me at a pause, it bothers me. It drives me crazy. I'm not necessarily a masker. I will though say, once I'm around a certain number of people for an allotted amount of time, I definitely need to recover from being around people. The only person or people that I can be around 24/7 is my family, my immediate in my house family. I can be around them all day long, no problems. But outside of my home, around other family members, around friends, I can only handle so much before I'm like, it's time to go home and relax for a while and just de-stress. That's another reason why I like making these videos. Let me know what you guys think about this situation. Do you guys know about autism? Are you aware of autism? Do you have autism, or do you have someone in your family that has autism? And how do you help that situation or help better yourself in dealing with these situations? Leave a comment down below letting me know, because I'm very interested in these topics.
Why the hell did people used to wear this suit? This is crazy and you won't believe the actual reason. It was used back in the 1800s, but not for what you may think. Now, it looks like some kind of crazy elaborate torture method that they would have used, because yeah, we've seen some of those and they're not pleasant. It's a terrifying looking suit, covered in spikes from head to toe with this creepy looking mask straight out of a horror film. But was it used for torture? To punish people? No. It wasn't. So this suit was actually designed for hunters in Siberia. Why? Well, because it keeps them safe, but from what? So of course in Siberia there were a lot of these guys, bears. And back in the day when everybody used to go out hunting the bears to scram them, obviously if you're hunting a bear, it's going to come flipping charging at you, right? So this suit was designed to keep the hunters safe. But no, they wouldn't actually be hunting the bears. But of course, when they're hunting for the other animals, bears would be there, they'd hear the sounds and they'd come charging over. Now, just note, these spikes wouldn't actually kill the bears, but when the bears came charging at the people, it would basically just, give them a bit of a shot and they'd run away. Which means the hunters could hunt in peace for whatever they're getting, without harming any other animals, and without the risk of getting absolutely demolished by a bear. So yeah, make sure you share this video with someone who didn't know this, and I'll see you in the next one.
Dang, could you imagine? Alright, honey, I'm going out hunting as you're equipping your chainmail and your spiked equipment. That would be pretty wild, and I guarantee you that's probably saved a lot of people's lives. That looks menacing. I don't know, I would still be pretty nervous, but at least you have some kind of defense. Heck, it might not even hurt to wear that around town. You never have to worry about someone trying to get into a fist fight with you, that's for sure. Alright guys, I'm gonna go ahead and end it here. As always, if you found any of these clips interesting, links are in the description down below. And with that being said, have a good day.